Hello, everyone. You will not believe what we are about to show you tonight. Things that people said were impossible and experts said were impossible don't come along very often, though. This is one of those times. We have this car because Zut said it couldn't be made. Lastly, things will look the same in the future. That's why we don't want a truck. There is something here that is better than both a truck and a race car. Let's start by seeing how strong this truck is. Road and Track, Motor Trend, and other publications have called it the fastest four-door car in history. It's a great sit-in that can fit up to 7 people, 5 adults, and 2 children. It's also easy to drive. It was named the best car of its year by almost every group. It has great tech, like autopilot. Newsweek even called it the best car ever. The reason for that is not just to achieve some superlative in cars, but to show what an electric car can do, because nobody believed that an electric car could do this. So what was really important was to show the reason it was important, not to achieve, awards or anything like that. It was to just show the car industry, show the world that an electric car really can be the best car, that's what really mattered. And now for 4 cars, about half the market wants a sit-in, and about half the market wants an SUV. So things are moving fast, and this will actually be, once it's complete, the equivalent of our Fremont car factory, plus our Nevada, a battery gigafactory combined. Yeah, so it's integrating the two, which kind of makes sense, So really excited about this, a great team in China, and that's going to be really important for making, affordable versions of the Model 3 and Model I for the greater China market. And at Tesla, we actually always design with safety as the #1 goal, It's like people think, okay, performance, sure, but safety first, This is actually by far the most important thing, but it's also going to have incredible performance. So we expect to have as a 3.5 0 to 60, yeah, good, and a very low center of gravity, so great handling. It's testing out at a 23 drag coefficient, which is extremely good for an SUV, and in terms of range from miles, so we expect to have an EPA range of an actual true usable range of 300 miles from an interior standpoint. It has a panoramic glass roof, and by the way, after I'm done here, you guys will be able to come up and check out the car. So it's so it's going to have a panoramic glass roof. It really feels just like the Model 3. If you're in the car, it just feels like you can see the sky. Seats, 766 cubic feet, obviously autopilot. And all that, as I've said publicly, we expect to be feature complete with self-driving sometime later this year, and then, as we prove out the safety with billions of miles and kilometers, we will, from our standpoint, feel it's safe enough to not pay attention, and then get the regulatory approval sometime thereafter. But the cool thing is feature complete it'll be able to do basically anything by this year, just with software upgrades, and all autopilot safety features will be present in every car. You won't need to buy an option. The autopilot safety features will always be there, so the Model 3 also fits 5 adults comfortably now. Now comfortably is the important part here. Okay, the challenge, obviously, with building a smaller car is how do you still make it comfortable with a bunch of people inside? So there are 2 important design steps we did. With the Model 3, to achieve that, one was to move the instrument panel, or the firewall. It really isn't a firewall, so we don't have a big combustion engine in front. We move the front seats forward and compress the instrument panel. When you do your rides tonight, you'll see what I mean. You're sitting a little further forward. Actually feels great, on the front seats. That's what gives you the leg room, to have 5 adults, and so that you, the first and second row, have plenty of leg room. Then on the rear roof area is actually one continuous pane of glass, and that the reason that's great is because it gives you amazing headroom and a feeling of openness. So it has, I think, by far the best feeling, best roominess of any car in the size. Then in addition, it has just like the model. It has a front and rear trunks, so it has more seat capacity than any gasoline car of the same external dimensions. And you can actually, somebody asked me this question recently, can you fit a 7 to long surfboard on the inside? The answer is yes. You can then, with respect to supercharging, all Model 3As will come with supercharging, applause standard. So the reason supercharging is very important, as many of you know, is that it gives you freedom of travel. Okay, it means you can conveniently go where you want, how you want. And a lot about having a car is it's about freedom. It's about going where you want to go. And so the superchargers are critical to that. So you are now at the point where we've built out over 3,600 superchargers worldwide, and about the same number of destination charges. That's present day. By the end of next year, we will double the number of superchargers. The Model A we expect will have a similar result, a 5 psi in every category, with the battery pack alone low in the floor. It's going to have a very low center of gravity. So this it has the functionality of an SUV, but it will ride like a sports car. So this thing will be really tight in corners and we expect will be the safest mid-size SUV in the world by far. And at Tesla, we actually always design with safety as the number one goal. It's like people think, okay, performance, sure, but safety first. But it's also going to have incredible performance. So we expect to have a 3.5 seconds 0 to 60. Yeah, good. So if you're in some sort of a biological disaster area, you can drive through your Tesla. Yes. It's literally this like biohazard defense mode where it basically pressurizes the car. So it's like the car is under positive pressure with all the air coming through a gigantic heat filter. And then even the air inside the car is recirculating in a secondary filter. It's got the most advanced filtration system of any car, or by far, literally hospital crate. Wow, you could do surgery in a car. That's crazy, but cool. We did go a little too far, yeah. Thanks for doing that. The solar roof and power wall are definitely going to be big this year. We can't make the Model 3 any other way because of how hard it is. We have to use old materials to construct it, or we will die. In short, it was pretty tight. It felt like I aged 5 years all at once in 2018. It was really tough. Thanks for being there for Tesla when things were tough. Both of these are very important because the money made from the Model S and Model X is what's used to make the Model 3. The Model 3's very high volume, and all the engineering needed to lower costs and add new features cost billions of dollars. So the Model S and Model X are what pay for its development. And finally, I want to thank everyone who bought an A or an X. The long-range Model 3 will cost about $47,000, and the standard version will come out sometime in 2021 for $39,000. The 7 seats are optional, though, so I think it'll be really appealing. I'm sure it'll be the mid-size SUV you want, and I think it'll probably sell. We had to create a special ultra-strong steel alloy that Tesla designed because this metal didn't exist before. We needed something that could be manufactured, wouldn't rust, wouldn't need paint, and could still be made in large quantities. The angular shape is partly because the body panels would break the stamping machine, so it has more torsional rigidity.